this time. He's coming on stage. I've never introduced his name before because tonight is going to be his very first time doing stand-up comedy, folks. Go ahead and give him a round of applause for that. And keep it going as he takes the stage for his debut, a funny guy, a good friend of mine, Mr. Nick Steffen.
This is my first time. You know, and as I was thinking about first times, I realized that first times are always full of lies. You ever realize that? Like the first time you met your spouse, how many people are married? Did you tell them the truth about yourself the first time you met them? No. Nobody did, because they would have ran away. You know, and I know that because none of us are here are normal. And I know that because you're listening to me tonight, and it's like 11:40. That's not normal. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if we were normal people. And so as I was thinking about what to talk about, I thought, I don't know what's funny. I've never done this before. And so I realized we all lie, so I'll just talk about lies. I'll just lie to all of you the whole night. And so I decided, or realized that I have to lie more than most people because I'm from the state of Kansas. Has anybody been to Kansas?
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, see, you're probably lying.
Yeah.
And so I realized that when I tell people I'm from Kansas and I want to impress them, that it's really difficult because there's not much great from the state of Kansas. I mean, there's only one famous person from Kansas. Do you know who that is? Superman. Yeah, Superman was one, and he wasn't even born there. Yeah, and when he got old enough, he took off to New York City. The other one was Dorothy. She was made up. They're both made up. You know, and she only wanted to go back to Kansas after she fell off that fence and hit her head. It's pretty sad, isn't it? And so I decided I'm going to tell you my greatest lie from Kansas. It's about the time that cow died in my parents' van. And the story is true, it's just I've never told my parents until tonight. So they're going to be surprised. So I'm in Kansas, and I'm in graduate school, and I work on a farm, because everybody in Kansas works on farms. You know, because there's more cows in Kansas than people. You know, most of the cows are smarter than the people. You know, and so there's evidence of that because I grew up on a farm and I chased my cow all the way around, like down the road every day trying to get it back in the pen. It's a true story, by the way. And so I'm in graduate school, I'm working on a farm. My boss, Brenda, calls me and she says, Nick, there's a cow in the field that's pregnant. And she says, can you go take care of it? Which means I need to go help this cow give birth. So I think, well, it's my job. I'll go do what I can. So I call up the old guy I work with. We jump in the farm truck, and we drive out to the field. It's easy to spot the pregnant cow because she's standing alone. And I have a pregnant wife right now, so I know why she's standing alone. You know, because in labor, no one wants to be around her. No, she doesn't want to be around anybody else. So she's standing there by herself. I also know she's pregnant because there's 2 hoofs sticking out the back. You know, it's easy. You know, I have 1 child and 1 on the way. I've experienced this. I saw the look on her face of anger. I stayed in the truck. This old guy didn't see it. He jumped out of the truck and thought it'd be a good idea to try and tell her what to do. You know, I saw the look on this cow's face when he told her what to do. It's the same look on my wife's face when she was in labor for like 20 hours, and I told her I was going to go get a hamburger. You know, because I thought, I've been here for 20 hours, what's it going to hurt, you know? That look of, if you go get a hamburger, I'm going to kill you and then eat that hamburger. And so what the cow does is it turns at him and runs him over. You know, so now this old dead guy's laying on the ground. And I think, I have a crazy pregnant cow and a dead old guy. What do I do here? So, you know, it ends up that after the cow runs over the guy, she turns around and walks right into the pen. What he wanted her to do in the first place. So fast forward, the cow has the calf, but it's dying. And so I call my wife and say, hey, bring the van. You know, and so my parents lent us this van. And have any of you ever seen the Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
You know Uncle Eddie?
Yeah.
He's in there. He says he's from Kansas, by the way. The third famous person. And so we bring this van that we're renting from my parents, and we set the baby cow between the bucket seats of the van, you know. And so we drive to the vet. As soon as we get to the vet, in the parking lot, the cow coughs up a bunch of stuff and dies in my parents' van, which is not good. And so fast forward, it's Christmas, and next year we're at my parents' house. And my parents say, hey, let's go for a movie. So we jump in that same van. My mom, without blinking an eye, says, Bradley, how come it smells like something died in this van? You know, and my wife is the most godly woman in the whole world. I don't think she's ever told a lie in her whole life. But she moved to Kansas, and so she started lying. And she gives me that same look that cow gave that old guy before it ran him over. And I knew if I ever told my parents that a cow died in that van, my wife would probably get out of the van, run me over with it, and then probably go eat a hamburger. And that's Kansas life. Thank you very much.